I told you. Hell, I have been telling you about this for years now. I'm sure those of you who are cynical in this audience, and that's okay. I'm the same way. I will never criticize anyone for being cynical, but I'm sure the cynical in this audience thought that Uncle Casey was lying. I'm sure the cynical thought it was all satire, that Uncle Casey was just joking around. Woke United Methodist, that was simply a creation of my imaginative mind. I mean, there's just no way that Woke United Methodist is real, right? There's no way pastors, priests, dare I say, bishops. There's no way that leaders in these positions, whose entire foundation is supposed to be based on the Holy Bible. Notice I did not say the woke Bible, which is obviously the preferred curriculum at Woke United Methodist. But there's no way that church leaders, who are supposed to be based on the Holy Bible, could possibly be indoctrinating their parishioners with narratives that the real Bible would consider sin. Right? Over the years, I have often complained about politics invading sports, but if there is one place where politics definitely do not belong, it is inside the sacred walls of church. There is a reason that the founders of this country made it a point to separate church and state. Church should be one of the sacred places. This should be the one sacred place where politics are not allowed. Think about it. Church is supposed to be a sanctuary, or as deacons at Woke United Methodist would call it, a safe space. Everyone is supposed to be welcomed at church. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, whether you're feeding the homeless on Saturday nights or passionately stuffing dollar bills into the thong of Jackie Mahomes at Club Shay Shay, everyone is supposed to be welcome at church on Sunday morning. Matter of fact, the sinners are supposed to be welcomed even more than the believers. If you don't believe me, go read the New Testament of the real Bible. Politics is the antithesis of everything that church is supposed to be. Church is supposed to unify communities. Politics is designed to divide them. Church is supposed to take care of the community by parishioners donating their time. Politicians, they throw money at the problem after putting their cut in their pocket, and they make the problem worse. Church is supposed to be a place where you feel comfortable sending your children to Sunday school without your supervision. All my parents out there, allow Uncle Casey to give you some valuable advice. If you have kids, do not, and I mean do not, send them to a Sunday school class taught by Bishop Mariann Budde? Mariann Budde? Mary Bud? Who cares? It doesn't matter what her name is. By this time next week, after her 15 seconds of fame are over, Mariann will go back to being anonymous. She will go back to answering to who? Yesterday, we were given a prime example as to why politics have no place in church. Yesterday afternoon, Donnie Trump and J.D. Vance, who is now being referred to as Trump Jr., they attended the National Prayer Service. Now, I have never watched one of these ceremonies. I'm assuming it's supposed to be apolitical. I'm assuming religious leaders are supposed to pray over the incoming president and bless his administration. Instead, the Trumper and his clone, they were given a special treat yesterday. They were given a passionate lecture by Mariann Budde, but she wasn't teaching them about the parables. She wasn't comparing the Trumper to David and Goliath. Bishop Budde was demanding that the Trumper have mercy on the identifiers. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Today on the second channel, going to be talking about the massive ratings declines in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. So if you haven't already, head over to the second channel and subscribe. According to Bishop Budde, there are millions of people living in fear right now in America. Now, me personally, I thought that number was in the dozens, maybe the hundreds. Bishop Budde is right. There are people living in fear. They are the woke welfare collectors in the mainstream media afraid of losing their jobs. But that is not who the lovely bishop was talking about. According to Bishop Ann, the millions of people living in fear, they are our neighbors. It's the girl next door who suddenly grew a beard. It's the hardworking landscaper who just so happened to forget to check in at the immigration office on his way across the border. It's the dump divers in the WNBA who fear the rainbow is disappearing. According to the previously unknown bishop, it is the Trumpers' responsibility to ensure that these people live peacefully without the threat of deportation. Watch for yourself.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away.
I'm going to be brutally honest with you. For starters, I don't doubt the sincerity of Mariann Budde. There is not a doubt in my mind that she believes what she said. In the past, I have covertly attended Sunday morning services at Woke United Methodist. I have heard this exact same sermon on several occasions. But there's a time and place for everything, and the National Prayer Service was not the time or the place for this message. And Bishop Budde, she knew that. If this was something that she was actually concerned about, she could have spoken with the Trumper privately. It's not like he's hard to find. It's not like he's inaccessible. I have seen more appearances from Donald Trump in the last 48 hours than I think I saw from Johnny B. Biden in the last 48 months. Mariann Budde knew exactly what she was doing. This was not a plea for illegal immigrants or undocumented migrants or marginalized birthing persons who forgot their papers. This was not a plea for terrified Timmy who aspires to be Kimmy. This was a plea for attention. This was a plea for notoriety. This was a desperate attempt from the unknown to become temporarily known. You don't have to take my word for it. Uncle KC always comes with the proof. Unsurprisingly, the woke media is worshiping Bishop Budde. Last night, she was invited to appear on the Cemetery News Network. I'm actually surprised that the bishop agreed to appear on CNN. Right now, she is at the peak of her fame. As someone who's desperate for attention, you would think she would appear on a network that people are actually watching. But as you guys know, people who are addicted to attention, they will take it however they can get it, even if that attention is coming from the dozens of people who are still watching CNN. Last night, Bishop Budde, she appeared on CNN where she doubled down on her message of fake unity. Watch it for yourself.
What made you decide to say all that today?
Well, these are the people that I know. These are not abstract people for me. These are actual people that I know. So I wanted to speak on their behalf. I wanted to present a vision of what unity can look like in this country that is transcending of differences and viewpoints and acknowledging our common humanity.
Yes.
I wanted to speak in such a way that reflected that dignity and respect, but I also wanted to bring into that space the real humanity.
UNITY, oh, I love me some unity. Mix a teaspoon of unity with a tablespoon of equity, sprinkle some diversity with a side of inclusion, and you have the perfect topping for the grilled woke wiener. That's good eating. As he was leaving Woke United Methodist yesterday, Donald Trump, he was approached by the media. Now, unlike our former fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden, Donnie did not hop on a motorized scooter and run away from the media. He heard someone ask a question, and the Trumper did what real leaders do. He provided an answer. The media wanted to know what the Trumper thought about the lecture. Instead of polishing the turd and coming up with some politically correct response, "Oh, I thought that sermon was great. My favorite part was when she asked me to ignore 99% of the population and focus on less than 1%. Ooh, that was inspiring." Donald Trump responded the only way he knows how to respond. He told the media exactly what he thought of Bishop Budde. Check it out for yourself.
What did you think of the service?
What did you think? Did you like it? Did you find it exciting? Not too exciting, was it? I didn't think it was a good service, no. Thank you very much.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
They can do much better.
There is a reason that Mariann Budde pleaded with the president yesterday. Obviously, the attention, the notoriety, that played a major role, but there was another reason that she did this. Bishop Budde knows the same thing that the mainstream media knows. It's over. The era of diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's over. Donald Trump's done a lot over the last couple of days. Like I said, seems like he has made more appearances in 48 hours than Johnny B. Biden made in the last 4 years. For the first time this decade, we have a real president. But over the last couple of days, the Trumper has continued to hammer a singular point. Going forward, people will be analyzed based on merit and qualifications instead of race and gender. As of this morning, all federal DEI employees, they have been placed on administrative leave. Now, they're still getting paid for now, but I would imagine that the Trumper, he's going to analyze their position to determine whether or not they're actually needed. The workers with actual skill, I'm sure the Trumper will find them a job somewhere in government, but the useless positions, the positions created because someone belonged to a marginalized group, those are going to be eliminated. The free ride is over. And that's why Mariann Budde was pleading with the Trumper yesterday. That's why she is begging him for mercy, because she knows, just like the media knows, the free ride is over. You can either produce or vamoose. We're going to be diving more into this topic later this afternoon. The lovely Bishop, she became an honorary Yenta this morning by appearing on The View. I promise you don't want to miss that video. But in the meantime, give me your thoughts. The Bishop lectures the Trumper on mercy for marginalized groups, and the Trumper responds the only way he knows how to respond. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys this afternoon.